your central nervous system, and you talked about this earlier, never gets a chance to really, just exhale and relax. And you keep going because slowing down, for some of us, it feels unfamiliar. What do you mean slow down? What do you mean rest? And I know we've talked about that a number of times before, but it's essential to our overall, of course, overall health. And going into this next chapter of our lives, we want to be at peak health because we want to be able to enjoy what we've worked so hard to work so hard to get to, and to accomplish, and to save, and all those good things that through the decades we've done to get to this point. So our health is of utmost importance. And if we don't learn to slow down and exhale and just truly relax, then we're not doing ourselves any justice, any benefits. I had a young lady on the podcast last week, and she talked about that very thing, just being in silence. Rest
Mhm.
and being in silence. And rest doesn't mean necessarily sleep. It means truly resting your mind, your body, and your spirit. Sometimes that can mean just reading a good book where you're not thinking about or picking up a phone and getting involved with all the craziness that goes on outside in the world, but just relaxing your body, truly resting when not just when you need it, but truly making time to make rest, as she calls it, making rest and silence an activity. Not like, oh, look at you, what are you doing? You're resting? No, we've got to get that out of our heads. That rest is essential to us living our next chapter, uh, you know, um, at peak performance.
Yeah. So, and not just an activity, a priority.
A
You know,
priority,
some
right?
of us need, I know myself, I have to write it down. I have to write down, okay, tonight I'm going to journal before I go to sleep. Or
Mm,
tomorrow morning, I'm going to wake up at this time and I'm going to go through my Bible. And then after that, I'm going to do a meditation. And then after that, I mean, I have to write those things down because I might grab my phone
right,
first and pay attention to what other people are saying instead of listening to my own thoughts
right,
and what my intuition is telling me to do for the day. I need
right,
to plan it out, and some of
right,
us need that, you know.
right. And we normalize being drained or over functioning. I'm being strong.
Mhm.
No, you're weakening your body and your mind and your spirit. You're weakening it all when you're over compensating and doing too much, as we like to say. You're just doing too much. And that's what
Mhm.
we do. And we look at it and we praise ourselves like, oh, I got all this done. Yeah, I'm exhausted. Yeah, I can't, want to just go go to bed 6:30 because I'm so exhausted from doing too much throughout the day. So
And
why
we
do you
do that
think
because it's familiar.
it's familiar? Exactly. It's
Our
familiar.
brain it will always try to keep us safe. So it will say,
Right.
"Okay, you know what? Just keep doing that
Keep
because if you
doing what?
stop, then what?"
Then
Then
what?
you're like, "This is that might hurt you. So don't do
Right.
that. Just keep on
Right.
going even if you're stressed, even if you don't have any more energy to do the thing or whatever it is, like just keep going." But
Just keep
that's
going.
not what we need to be doing.
So why do you think slowing down feels so threatening for so many of us?
It's threatening because, like I said, your brain tries to keep you safe.
Hmm.
And that is where our bodies will always try to do that for us. And we're so used to being on, don't distract me. Okay. Don't do that. Don't do that. That's rude. Um, now see, I forgot what I was going to say. What's the word you asked me?
Uh,
Threatening. Yes.
threatening.
Threatening.
Why is it so threatening for a lot of us?
Because we're used to doing the same thing and we don't want to change, we don't want to rock the boat, we want to think that, oh, but it's been working this long, but has
Hmm.
it really been working? Do you feel a sense of peace with it? Are
Right.
you fulfilled in it? Because if you don't feel those things, then it's not working.
Right.
And especially it's not working on you. It's working, you're working for it. There's some work going on, but it's not the kind of work that you want that's going to
Right.
help move you to the next level.
Exactly. Exactly. And we got to realize that survival mode, it costs it not just what you were talking about, Miriam, but it costs your clarity, it costs your creativity, which we never think about. It costs your emotional balance. We just discussed health, your intuition, and it costs your identity
Yeah.
because we forget who we really are outside of the expectations and the roles. So, you start dreaming, like you said, you start numbing out, and then you start resenting the things and people you once cared for deeply. So that can happen to some of us.
Mhm.
Um, so tell me, what's one cost of survival mode you didn't recognize, Miriam, until you were finally on the other side of it?
Am I on the other side? I like to think so. Yeah.
You're on the other side, girl. You're in beautiful Spain. You are on the other side. You did that thing. So you're on the other side.
All right. So wait, what's your question again?
What's one cost of survival mode you didn't recognize until you were finally on the other side?
Um, I didn't recognize how much I needed, and I like to be, I always enjoyed being alone, being by myself and getting in quietness. So I didn't
Mhm.
mind stillness.
Mhm.
But I don't think that I realized how much I needed to delve more, and this is for me, to
Mhm.
delve more into the scriptures
Okay.
because I was a daily prayer. I am a daily person who prays. I do that regularly, and I
Okay.
have a relationship with God, my creator. But I needed, for me, it helped me to get more into detail and find more information about what God wants for me and what he expects from me.
Okay.
And it helped me also to learn what I need to do for others and how to help others. And when I started doing that part and leaned more into, okay, how can I be of service?
Mhm.
That's when things changed emotionally for me.
Okay. Okay. So now let's talk about alignment. Because alignment is not about perfection. And that's one thing we have to realize, or getting your whole life organized. Alignment means your life starts matching who you are now and not who you used to be. And that's what we also have to realize, that as women, we're changing. We change in our 20s, we change in our 30s, 40s, and then, like I always say, our 50s are one of those things where you have this epiphany and it's just like, oh,
Mhm.
and you start realizing, there's so much more out there that I want to do and want to see and want to change, whether it's therapy, travel, whatever. There's so
Mhm.
many things that I have put on the back burner, and that's where the alignment comes into play. So, alignment is making decisions from intention, not obligation.
Mhm.
It's honoring your values. It's listening, like you said, listening to your body, letting rest be part of your rhythm, your rhyme, choosing what supports your peace, releasing what drains you, and creating life that fits the woman you've become or
Yeah.
becoming. Maybe you're still in that process. Um, so how what do you, when you think about alignment in your own life, do you look at your life in Spain now as alignment? I think we're always constantly growing. Me and my husband were talking about this. I think even as adults, you should be constantly improving and growing and learning. But for
Mhm.
you, how did you know you were finally shifting into alignment?
Well, I'm still getting in alignment.